favorite chef. Let's get cooking! Chef Maya. Everything's good. Chef Maya. Everything's good. I make food like you should. And when I make food, everything's good. My name's Maya, Chef Maya. Let's get cooking. Turn up the fire. Chef Maya. Everything's good. Chef Maya. Everything's
And I'm Jazzy, and I'm Fire. I'm the sister of Chef Maya.
Chef Maya. Everything's good. Chef Maya. Everything's good. And just wait till I'm the chefiest chef in the universe.
So, hey guys, first you want to cut the onion, get a red onion or a Spanish onion. I mostly prefer Spanish onions, but red onion was the only one I can find, and yeah. So then separate the rings into a bowl, and then put 1 cup of buttermilk, or I think it's 1/2 cup, but it depends how many onions you have. And then put in 3/4 teaspoons of salt. And then right here I'm putting the 1/4 teaspoon in. And then after that we are putting in 1/2 teaspoon of black pepper. And then you want to mix it up with your hands. I recommend wearing gloves because it gets pretty messy. So you, yeah. And then you put in 1/2 cup of flour, I think. Or, yeah. And then, or it might be, yeah, I think it's 1/2 cup. And then you put in 1/4 cup of cornmeal. And then you put 1/2 teaspoon of salt and pepper. And then you mix that up. You can wear the same gloves. I'm doing that. Just mix that up. And then I messed up. So what you actually want to do is instead of putting the onions into the wet mixture, you actually want to combine the wet mixture with the dry mixture and then add in 1 egg so it's all, good. So it should look like that right after it's dry and stuff. And then, yeah. Alright, so this is what, okay. And then take the onions out and then add 1 egg with the yolk in it. And then add the dry mixture to it. And, mix it up until it's like a batter form. And yeah. So it should look like that now. Once it's done mixing, when it's finished mixing, and yeah. Then now you go ahead and put the onions in. Sorry, I mixed it up beforehand. But yeah, then you put it in there. I forgot to wear gloves, and I think we didn't have any more gloves, so yeah, I still recommend wearing gloves for this one because it's pretty messy too. So now put it on over some oil. The oil looks a bit dirty, but we use this for beignet. I made a video on that already. But you can reuse oil for multiple stuff. You don't have to keep changing it over like each and single day. But after about 1 week, you should probably change it. So yeah, put 1 or not 1 at a time, but multiple at a time until it's all golden brown and all puffy, and it looks like an onion ring from restaurants and stuff. So right now I'm just tossing it around on high heat over vegetable oil for frying. And yeah, you can also use a fryer, an actual fryer, not a pan or a pot. But yeah, so this is what it should look like. So
Everything's good.
Bye.
See you next time.